we're starting this video out at kind of a random time, but good morning and welcome. It is a gorgeous morning in Ireland. It is quite early. I'm sitting beneath the beautiful mountain view, and I wanted to share the books that I brought with me because it took me quite a long time to narrow down this list, and I kept rethinking and reshuffling books, but for packing purposes I was already pushing it with these three, and I do usually like to treat myself to a book. If I can find a bookstore when I'm away, I like to pick up a book and bring it home. So these are the ones that made the cut. First is Magic by Robin Hobb. I held out as long as I could, but I was just craving this book. I can't explain it. I was listening to a podcast. It sparked my love of dragons and my love of this series, and really the realm of the Elderlings at large. So I'm just over a third of the way through. Absolutely loving it. I spent my flight reading this. I've been waking up early, staying up late. I think I will probably finish this in the next few days, even though it's a chunky book, because it's quite like a quick read and I just feel like so immersed in the world. So yes, love this. And then to kind of split up the chunkier books, I brought Gathering Moss, A Natural and Cultural History of Mosses by Robin Wall Kimmerer. She is the woman who wrote Braiding Sweetgrass, which I read a couple years ago and absolutely loved. She infuses a lot of her own life story into her nature writing, and it is just like perfect. So I'm super excited to read this one. This I felt I could see us driving around the Irish countryside, surrounded by green, and reading about mosses and our connection to nature, and I just felt like it would be perfect. So that's why I chose this one. And then kind of on the nose, I decided to bring Ireland by Frank Delaney, which I had never heard of, but I saw it in a bookshop and just thought it would be perfect. So I'm not as familiar with this one because I'd never heard of the author or the novel, so I will just read a bit of the blurb. In the winter of 1941, a storyteller, the last practitioner of an honored and centuries-old tradition, arrived at the home of 9-year-old Ronan O'Mara in the Irish countryside. For 3 wonderful evenings, the old gentleman enthralls his local assembled audience with narratives of foolish kings, fabled saints, and Ireland's enduring accomplishments before moving on. But these nights change young Ronan forever, setting him on a years-long pursuit of the elusive, itinerant storyteller, and the glorious tales that are no less than a saga of his tenacious and extraordinary isle. So I just thought this one would be really beautiful to be reading while I'm here as well. So those are the 3 books that I had narrowed down after much decision and redecision, but I feel good about this list. So yeah, I'm just sitting out here with my coffee, and I'm going to read some more Magic before starting our day, but it's absolutely glorious out. It's just about 6:45, and it's just stunning. So we have a busy couple days because the reason that we're here is my sister's getting married. And we ended up coming a few days earlier than we thought. So we have a couple of upfront days that we have time to do fun stuff. So that's awesome. And then we're traveling after the wedding. So that's why we're here for such a long time. And I could not be more excited. It's going to be wonderful, but it is very early. So for now, I'm just going to read my book, enjoy my coffee, and see what we're getting up to today. I'm not actually sure. I think we're doing a hike in the morning, 2 hikes. They're not super intense, but I think we're going to do 2 hikes and then go to a weaving center, which we tried to go to last time we were here. I was here last year just for 4 or 5 days on a mad dash to see as many venues as possible with my sister, and we had gone to this weaving center, but I think it had just closed, so we were able to look at the shop, but I don't think we actually got to have a full experience. We're going to go back because it's on our bucket list. Wedding venue we found. Maggie. I think it's been many days since we last spoke, but my sister got married yesterday. It was literally out of a fairy tale. It was stunning. It was perfect. We're all feeling a little bit worse for wear today, but we're going to rally because we just got to, it's an old estate that was converted into kind of a hotel where my entire family is staying, like cousins, aunts, uncles, everyone, because today we're about to do an ancestral tour of where my great-grandma grew up. I've done it before, but now it's like a whole different experience because we're going with the entire extended family, and we even have like a great-grandchild here now. And I just feel like it's going to be like a magical experience, and we're so lucky to do it. I wish my grandparents were here. I think this would like make them overflow with joy. It was especially my grandma. So that's the plan for today. Hi, baby. So I have no proof, but I'm fairly confident that this is where they filmed some of the 2005 Pride and Prejudice, because this looks exactly like where Elizabeth swings when Charlotte comes and tells her that that she's getting married and engaged to Mr. Collins. Somebody fact check me, but this is stunning. Good morning, everyone. It has once again been quite a few days since we've spoken, but we have had such a packed itinerary. We've been hiking, biking, kayaking, and a lot of driving. So we got into our new Airbnb pretty late last night because it was a very long drive. So we are just outside Doolin for the next couple days, which is great because we tried to have as few moves as possible, just because that takes up driving time, and also our car is very, very packed, so we want to try to stay in our Airbnbs like 2 to 3 nights as much as possible. So we're here for 3 days, and today we're going to do the Cliffs of Moher, and I think we're going to drive to like some other small towns in the area, but they will be quick drives with a fairly empty car, so it shouldn't be so bad. But yeah, I've just been having the most amazing time. I am super tired, but super happy. I just don't sleep on trips. Like, I've been napping a lot in the car, but I don't know. I can't actually sleep. I just want to wake up and like do as much and see as much as I possibly can. But yesterday, after we got to the Airbnb, we were all going to shower. We couldn't figure out the hot water, so we just got into bed being disgusting. But I woke up really early to steal the first shower to try to get the hot water, and it kind of worked. It was like flashes of hot water, but it's fine. And I was also up super late last night because I am desperately trying to finish the Mad Ship. I'm on 728, and there's about 850 something pages, so I'm almost done. It is so good. I've been napping a lot in the car, but I've also been reading a lot, so that's the good thing about long car rides. Also, it's just like gorgeous scenery. But we were in Kenmare the other day for just kind of like a drive-through. We ended up staying longer there than we thought because we had to move back one of our bookings because we just weren't going to make it. But I went to the Kenmare bookshop, which I've actually been to before, and treated myself to 2 books. They had a whole section with like Irish folklore books, and I do think I'll probably treat myself to one of those, but I do have a couple at home that I've only read like a sliver of, so I want to be mindful that like I have some of those at home that I haven't actually finished yet. So I just got 2 books by Irish authors because I thought it made sense. So the first I got is a Claire Keegan. You know, I love her so much. I've read Foster by her, Small Things Like These, and So Late in the Day. But this is Antarctica, which I remember being one of the short stories in So Late in the Day. It was 3 short stories smashed together. So let's see what this actually is. It's another collection of short stories. It is astonishing. I'm tired. In Antarctica, an astonishing sequence of stories, one of the most gifted writers illuminates the truth of human longing and fallibility. So, let's see. So there are so many stories. Okay. So definitely more than So Late in the Day, but maybe Antarctica just like fit in that book because that was about relationships between men and women and some pretty horrific scenes and moments that she conjured up. So it had like a very specific theme, so maybe this just branches out a little bit more. But I'm so excited to read this. My mom also loves Claire Keegan because I'm like, you know, said that she was so incredible, an incredible Irish author. So my mom's read everything that I've read, and I've given it to her, so I'm sure she'll try to snag this one on the trip. But that is fine because I have plenty else to read. And then the other book I got, I just thought was such a gorgeous cover. This is Happiness by Niall Williams. I don't know, that is like stunning. So the blurb is, after dropping out of the seminary, 17-year-old Noel Crowe finds himself back in Faha, a small Irish parish where nothing ever changes, including the ever-falling rain. But one morning the rain stops and news reaches the parish. Electricity is finally coming. With it comes a lodger to Niall's home, Christine McCone. Though he can't explain it, Noel knows right then something has changed. As Noel navigates his coming of age, Christie's buried past gradually comes to light, casting a glow on the small world and making it new. Yeah. Super excited to read this one, but I think I'm going to focus on the Mad Ship, and then I'm dying to read the Robin Wall Kimmerer, but that's like a sliver of a novel compared to Mad Ship.
but that I'm probably just going to enjoy the last like 30 minutes of a quiet household and read my book. And then I think we have a pretty busy day. We're gonna make breakfast here, even though I didn't see coffee. I was trying to rummage around in the kitchen, but I realized that I was probably being really loud, so I stopped. But I did not see coffee. So we might have to make a pit stop and then on to the cliffs of Moher. I don't think we're gonna do the boat tour. We've done that before, and it's like a great view and angle of the cliffs, but I think it's a little bit touristy. Like everyone's just like snapping photos, not really like living in the moment, which I do sometimes too. But so I think we're just gonna do the actual hike today, which, you know, is right up our alley anyway. And then because my boyfriend's with us and he's never been to Ireland before, so a lot of the things like we've had the chance to do, but it's like so fun to do it again. Like I would do these things a million times and he's never done them, so it's gonna be amazing and wonderful. And then I think we're gonna try to convince my mom that the second half of the day should look like sitting in a pub with a couple pints, people watching and relaxing and reading and listening to live music and not rushing to the next activity. I think we might have to veto her on that one, but we'll see.
You know what, just at the end, huh? That's right at the end.
I think Carolyn.